How are you going to fix the water safety issue in Rhome?
Just talking to someone back here, I have to disagree with some of what you say. To be honest with you, I don't know. I'm not sure what they are. But a big thing to solving any problem is recognizing, first of all, that it exists. We do have people out in Boswell that are under a private contract for their water. Consistently, their water is undrinkable. It smells. Your skin smells when you take a bath. That's something, I don't know how to get around it because it is a private entity on well service. I don't know, that's just something we're going to have to look at. As far as our city water, I was at a council meeting one evening and the guy says, yeah, we're treating that water with ammonia and chlorine. Junior high, chemistry. You don't mix ammonia and chlorine together. And he said, well, we changed that, so now we're just using chlorine. But when the water comes out, it smells so of chlorine.
Yeah.
Chlorine is covering something else up. So I'm not totally positive what the solutions are, but as I say, just recognizing there's a problem to begin with. That's monumental. And over some time, there's been times that we've had contaminated water sent into our homes, and it was 2 weeks or so before anybody let us know. So with that one, I don't have a specific answer for you. I don't know, but as I say, we've got to recognize that it exists and do whatever it takes to fix it. Thank you.
Yeah, this has been a big challenge. I was a public works person for a while. I'm not a public works person. You can thank the council for that. It has been a challenge the last year because we did have issues because we did not have a public works director supervisor in place for many, many months. And then that was left to me to figure out. It was left to the city secretary. So we did the best we could. So I will take responsibility for that interim time. We do have somebody in place now that I feel comfortable with. We're going to give him a chance to help solve some of the problems, to communicate it. He was at the council meeting Thursday night and indicated, it may be an issue with what we're getting from Walnut Creek, and maybe collectively we can approach Walnut Creek and try to figure out what the problem is and if we need to make them fix it on their end before it comes to our end. So that's kind of where we're going with that, but I understand your frustration. I'm frustrated too, but we will continue to work with the Public Works supervisor that we have now and address the issues as best we can. We will try to keep the council more informed. This Public Works supervisor understands the TCEQ requirements. He understands the notification process. The times that are being referred to, that's when the city secretary and I were trying to make the best of everything that we could. So I don't anticipate we'll have problems like that in the future as far as notification. Thank you.
Yeah. 1 minute.
Okay, Mrs. Pittman, I was not directing my criticism at you directly. We do have a council, though, who is notorious for closed doors. And they don't like for the public to know what's going on. I recall a certain Weiss County article, or it might have even been a letter to the editor, that the senior councilwoman wrote, and she said, oh, everything's just fine, just fine. We had some bumps in the road, but it's all just fine now. And it wasn't. Thank you. But as I say, my criticism was not directed at you. Thank you.
The water that we get comes from Walnut Creek, the bulk of it, not all of it. We still have 4 individual wells that we pump into the system. We are contracted with Walnut Creek for 1 million gallons at this time. 1 million gallons a day of water that we can take from Walnut Creek. We're not anywhere near approaching that now. We do have storage capacity for 1 million gallons in the overhead tank, and it's never full. It's partially filled because we don't need that much water. TCEQ requires that at the furthest extension of your service line, you have at least a 0.02 residual. It's milligrams per liter of chlorine in the water. The Walnut Creek leaves it, and when it leaves their plant over there at their checkpoints at our tank below the hill, it is at that level. We augment it with our wells, we chlorinate the wells here with chlorine. Chlorine, that's like I said a while ago, mixes with the organic compounds and creates trihalomethane. The TCEQ tests these trihalomethane only once or twice a year. And if you have a high reading at that particular point, you're going to get a notice that your trihalomethane is high. The water is sent to labs, Denton, or I think it used to be Denton, for bacterial count every month. And we have never had, in the last years that I know of, any high bacterial count in the water. The water is sterilized, is clean. If you have an issue with copper or lead, that's run each year in 10 different separate parts of the city. Copper and lead contamination is tested and sent to the state. If you have any high lead, it's notified. You're notified. That individual that the house came from, where it came from, is notified. But I drink this water every day. I've helped to keep it clean for years. And when I worked at Runaway Bay, the same thing happens. The trihalomethane is going to be there. The bacteria is not. And that's what you need, lead, bacteria, things like that.
Thank you. Opportunity to talk to one of our chemists at work, because we have to take care of water ourselves in various power plants to make sure that we generate from clean water. And I asked him about the problem with the trimethyl halides and where it comes from and so forth. And basically, I got the same answer that Bill just gave, or David, I'm sorry, that David just gave. So it's a matter of us trying to get out and take care of, I don't know, we need to look at getting the trimethyl halides out of our water. We don't have any other real problems with it. And trimethyl halides are a cancer carcinogen if they're taken in enough quantity. So, and right now I believe our quantities are quite low. The last two tests that showed the parts per million were pretty high, but I think that's pretty much been taken care of right now with our new gentleman that's taking care of the water and the sewage and so forth. One of the things in the future, I talked about a community, or a shared community water treatment and sewage treatment plant. And that, if we got to that level, we probably could then take care of that. I mean, it's caused by proper filtration. There's a 5-stage process to do this, to filter a lot of these organics out. And it involves a carbon, one of the last bases is a activated carbon filter at the end. You get sand filters, stone filters, and so forth, earth filters, and then you get down to your carbon filters. And usually by that time, it takes a lot of, almost everything out of the water. And the only other process is boiling it to make sure it's sterile. We really don't do that, so. But it's a process that we can handle, and we're going to have to look at our water treatment plant and probably update that down here the road a little bit.
Sure. When the trihalomethane first came up as an issue, I called TCEQ, talked to some of their representatives down there, and I asked them, I said, how do you determine the maximum contaminant levels? That's the level at which TCEQ and the health department says that beyond that point it could be an issue. And the answer she gave me, she said, if a person drank 7 liters of water from one source for 70 years, it could be an issue. Now and I said, you're telling me that if I drank 7 liters of this from the same source, not from all around the neighborhood, from the same source, for 70 years, it could be an issue, and that's how you establish this level? And she said yes. So, if any of you have been drinking water out of the same faucet for 70 years in no other place, then you got a problem.
I don't know if we genuinely have a water problem or not. I heard what Mr. Wilson just said. I'd heard that before. I've heard that it's a problem, okay, that it's not safe. We violated the EPA standard, Okay, some of the EPA standards are too high, some of them are too low. Frankly, I don't know, okay? I think it's a perception issue at the moment. I really hope that if it were genuinely unsafe to drink, that we can get some kind of a notice. But the thing is, we're not getting proper communication from the CSC, Texas Commission on Environmental Quality,
Right.
TCEQ. I called the TCEQ. I was not able to get through to someone as you were. They told me to file an open records request, and they said, oh, well, that'll be $268 if you want to know what you're asking. Yeah. But the thing is, they're not telling us. They're not telling us really how bad it is. I don't know if David's right or not. He certainly may be. There may be no problem with our water at all. It's a perception issue. The thing is, it could be a serious problem. But they're not telling us. I don't think our city knows. I don't think our council and mayor know definitively what the problem is. Now, as to what to do about it, let's get to the actual question. I listened to Lance, our public works guy, the other night, and he had an idea of, I believe it was get the New Fairview, Boyd, Newark, everyone together and get collective bargaining with Walnut Creek, because we're actually getting the money, the water from them over the EPA level. It's not something we're doing. We're getting the water that way. So's Newark, so's Boyd, so's New Fairview. So we need to get them to fix the water and work together with them.
As part of having a new septic or a new sewage treatment plant, water treatment plant, part of that is to have your own test facilities within that entity so that you can test your water and make sure your water is safe and the quality of the water is good all the time. Now, this is something that we're going to have to invest in down the road. And again, this could be a shared community project that we have with our neighbors.